too.
We are. And now the one thing to remember is, if you are finished before we move on,
Yes.
I want you to take that opportunity to just relax, meditate. I mean, how many times have we just sat and done nothing and just relaxed? And what's wonderful about this is it's a form of meditation. So if you are like me and don't want to sit 20 minutes on a meditation cushion at home, just take out a tile and start to tangle, or go to a class and just relax. And if you're done before we move on, just sit and meditate, which means just sit in silence and be in the present moment.
I think you really hit on something there, Jackie, because I think there's, and I know I have certain students who find Shavasana very, very difficult, to lie in a position, you know, on the floor and not do anything for a little while. So I think that something like this would much easier engage them than trying to just lay still. You still get the same effect, in a sense, with the mind.
Right, and what's wonderful about your Shavasana, because you're my favorite yoga teacher, that's why I go to all your classes.
Yay.
Yeah, I know. And I love the Shavasana because it's not very long. It's only like 5 or 10 minutes at the end. And there's some in the beginning too, which might be not Shavasana, but it's relaxation. Yes. I love that because it's not the whole class. And some people like to do it the whole class, and but that's what I like about it. You get me to relax. But sometimes I'm sorry it's over, just like on the airplane when it landed. I'm like, oh, it's over? We have to get up now and go do something? Okay, are we ready for the last pattern?
I am. Yep.
Good. Yep. So this is real easy. All you're going to do with our last section, you can turn your towel if you want to, is pick an edge. And I'm going to pick this top edge here. And from I'm going to start in the middle. And all we're going to do is draw a nice little squiggly line. And at the end of that line, some dots. Now, we're going to do the same exact thing next to it. I'll let you do that first. All right. And I love that. See how she turned the corner? See, you could be as creative as you want.
They're also
sorry
different.
about that.
They're also different, that's it.
Exactly. So now, next to it, quite close, or it doesn't really, you're going to do another one, but it has to be a different size. So it can be longer or shorter than the first one. And then some dots, and the dots you don't want the dots to line up either. And then you'll do the other side. And I'm going to do mine a little shorter. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to fill this whole section just...
Can they cross each other? Or?
Absolutely, they can cross each other. And I love when I always say there's no right or wrong, and then I get questions. You know, can they do this? And it happens every class, and I love it.
It's like that skit I've seen for the dollar store. How much is this? How much is that?
That's really funny. Yes, and I'm so glad you asked that question, because if you want to cross them, I think that's a wonderful idea to do. And turn them.
You do get the feeling and sensation with the pen too that you need to go lightly on it, because I have, as you point out, a tendency to press down, and I feel it in the pen. It's like, no, back off. So I'm getting that effect too.
Excellent. And the one thing, if we had more time, what I would do is we usually shade the tiles. Maybe we'll do, when we finish this, I'll do one shading so you get the idea, and then we can, because I want to make sure we have lots of time for yoga and Shavasana.
Of course.
And so I'll show you when we finish this section, I'll show you 2 other things you can do. Okay. Now the thing about Zentangle, there are hundreds and hundreds of patterns, and there are more being created as we speak at this moment. And a wonderful website to go to for free, and we'll show you step by step how to do the patterns, is tanglepatterns.com. I have no affiliation with it, but a lot of the CZTs and people who tangle are in that community. There's a whole Tangle community. If you just go, if you're on Facebook and you Google Zentangle, you'll find, Google too, you'll find lots and lots of other, you can learn Zentangle on your own, you can get books, there's videos, there's the YouTubes, but tanglepatterns.com is a great website to go to see other patterns, and for free you can see step by step. We'll show you what to do. And I love that, look at it. dot, dot, dot. That's what she's doing with her hands.
Wild on the dots.
Yeah, well, on the dots.
So one more thing we're going to do with the pen, and then we'll pick up the pencil, and then we'll start to conclude. See how there's little spaces in our little spirals?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what we can do is just, not the whole thing, but periodic, for some of the spaces, color it in lightly with your pen, color the white space in, just sporadically, randomly, in different parts of the sections of the section.
Well, I know I can't do anything wrong because I already went in and put little spirals in the white spaces.
Oh, I love that!
I'm finding a few.
Yes. And you see what it does, it gives it a more dramatic effect. And it's fun. So the one thing that, well, I'll wait, but the one thing that I just want to remind you all that what we are focusing on is letting go, breathing, having faith, being present, letting go of the outcomes. And what I like to do is I like to encourage people to take these same words and attitudes and use them throughout the rest of your day today and all day tomorrow and the rest of the week, of letting go of outcomes in your life, having faith, breathing, slowing down, focusing more, and having fun.
These are all goals that we try to reach in yoga as well, everything that Jackie just said, basically. So it's such a perfect fit.
That is beautiful. Now there's two more things we're going to do, even though that sounded like a really good conclusion, but we want to do one more thing, and that is we're going to do a little shading, and then we're going to put all the tiles together, and we're going to, I always like to take a picture of it, and hopefully our viewers can see it as well. So just to give you an idea of what shading does, you can, when you're ready, put down your pen, and always make sure your pen is capped when it's down. And you're going to pick up your pencil, and we're going to shade the spiral one that we did. Not the spiral ones, I'm sorry, the one that we did the loop and then all the arcs.
Okay.
So with your pencil, I want you to, whenever you see a little corner, just throughout, just put a little lightly, a little pencil in. Any corners, it can be in the loops, out of the loops, just wherever there's like a little corner or intersection. And just a little bit lightly. It doesn't have to be in all of them, just a few of them. And when you're done, put your pencil down. That looks awesome. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, so that's good enough. So now you put down your pencils, pick up your tortillon. Tortillon. It's French for stump smudger or something like that, or blender. Yeah.
Okay.
So this blends the pencil. I love it. So with wherever you did your pencil, with your tortillon, you're just going to blend it in. And you could do circular motions or back and forth, and you can actually bring it up a little bit. It's wherever you'd like to in that section. Kind of spread it around a little bit. And this helps us, this makes us feel like true artists that we are. But more importantly, what it does, it just gives it more of a pop. Especially when we do so many different designs, they can get lost with each other. So the shading kind of separates them more, it adds dimension, and it's fun. That's why we do it.
Well, it's wonderful too because you really it doesn't require a lot of artistic talent. I'm here, I'm not stressing out because my picture isn't as good as someone else's or I haven't done the proper thing. I really feel really good about this picture. It makes me feel good inside.
And it looks wonderful, and you're absolutely right. There is no artistic experience or ability necessary to do Zentangle. And it's wonderful that for the art community. Matter of fact, I was in Nantucket, and I'm looking to teach Zentangle in Nantucket because I love Nantucket and I want to spend more time there. Of
course.
And so I met with the Art Association, and they said they want to bring Zentangle in more because for those people who are not artists to become more of the art community. And I thought that was wonderful.
That is so ideal.
Yeah.
And I think you probably see different, I just know sitting at this table, because my two old friends here, Sue and Lois, they're very different in personalities. Lois is extremely laid back. She never really gets riled about anything. Susie can get a little more agitated and have a little more anxiety. She's more on my side of the table. But as I watch us all here, we're all kind of on the same level. I mean, Susie's so calm over there, and we all look like the same here, so it's very cool like that.
Yes.
Levels the field.
Let's put our tiles. So actually, I should have told you to initial them, but we'll do that afterwards.
Okay.
Let's find us.
Dark enough.
No, you see? Now, she just said, I didn't make it dark enough. There's no such thing. And by the way, there are no erasers in Zentangle. Just like in life.
That's right.
And usually, whatever we didn't intend to do leads us to something better, just like in life. And so I'm going to just take my little picture here, because I do that in every class and every TV interview, even though this is my first. So we're going to take back ours. Whose is whose now? That's yours?
mine.
That's yours?
Mine. Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is yours. So last thing we're going to do is you're going to take your pen and you're going to sign your artwork with your initials or your name or your first letter. However you want to sign your artwork, you can do it. Doesn't matter. I have a friend, her name is Talib, and she signs it with a big T, and I love that. So I just signed my initials. So what I like to do, let's go around the room, and in one word, how do you feel?
Relaxed. Relaxed, and it was a lot of fun.
I feel creative.
Yeah.
I feel awesome.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you, Jackie, for showing us Zentangle. Now we will move to the mats. So we begin here in Shavasana, just resting in this position. Palms are up, body is relaxed. We draw our attention to the breath. Just allowing our concerns to drift away. And we begin now to just deepen the breath, taking a fuller inhalation and a longer, more complete exhalation. Again, inhaling and exhaling. We know that the mind is very busy all day long. 70,000 thoughts a day. So we just try in yoga to clear the mind, to allow the thoughts to descend. We do that by returning to the breath. And then we'll just take our arms above our heads and lengthening through the heels as we stretch. Doing just a gentle stretch today on the show. We've enjoyed our little Zentangle adventure, and we're just going to do a little stretching. So inhaling the arms down by the sides. Bring your feet to the floor one at a time. And then draw the knees into the chest one at a time and gently rock them in and out. Just feeling the lower back as we do that, warming it up. And then just going back and forth a little. And then coming back to the center. And we're just going to bring our hands behind the thighs, middle of the thigh, and draw the thighs into the chest. And then point and flex the feet. And then drawing the soles of the feet together, pointing the toes up at the ceiling. And then releasing the feet down. Once again, we're going to stretch the spine by extending the heels away and pushing through the fingertips. And right here now, keep breathing. We're going to add a pelvic tilt. So just bringing that back, lower back into the floor, and then releasing that and allowing the arms to come down by the sides. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time and cross your left leg over your right. And just allow that left leg to open by taking the hand and opening it a little bit. Then bring your left hand to the left knee, right to the right, and draw that assembly to the chest. And as you do this, attempt to keep the chin level. Sometimes a little pillow helps with that. And just stretching through that right thigh. And then we drop that right foot to the ground. Take your right hand to your left knee. And then keeping the right leg in that same position, draw that left knee over. So just stretching through that left hip. Release that, and with your right fingers, just push that left thigh away a little. So opening that up a little bit. And then take the hand and draw that across, leg across again. And then let it release and push with your fingertips as you open that thigh up. Again, draw it across. Again, release it down and push away with the fingertips. And then letting that go. Now draw your right leg up so that your right leg comes into your right elbow. Your right knee comes into your right elbow. And then your left hand holds your right foot. And you draw it in like a baby. So holding it just like you were cradling a baby. And then releasing that down and letting it cross all the way over. Take your left hand palm down. Take your right hand to your knees and draw them to the right. And then coming back up to center. What is the noise? We got to take care of that phone noise. Can we get it out? Does anyone know whose phone it is?
I have no idea.
Because this is going to show up in the thing, I think. Sorry. I don't know what to do. I thought someone would just take care of it, so I ignored it for a while, but it's going to show up in the thing. I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
Actually, we couldn't hear it at all.
Oh. All right, it's okay. I broke in the middle. It's all right. Come on back. I'm sorry. I broke right where I could break. I'm sorry. I kept hoping someone would do something. I didn't know whether to ignore it.
We couldn't hear anything. That's why we weren't moving.
Okay, no problem. Back. So back down there. We're just going to do the other side. Okay, that's why we have editing. Okay, extend the arms, extend the legs, and lengthen. And then exhaling the arms down by the side. Bring the feet to the floor one at a time and cross the right leg over the left. Make sure your hip and knee are in a nice straight line. Take your right hand and just open that up a little bit, pushing against the thigh. Bring your hands to your knees and draw that up to the chest. Just letting that right hip stretch a little. And then bring that left foot down to the floor. Take your left hand to your right knee and draw that knee across. And just make sure your left knee stays in the same position so we're getting that nice stretch. Then push that, but let that go back and push it away with your fingertips. Opening the hips. Again, bring that knee across. And again, letting that go and just using the fingertips to open it. Once more, we draw that across. Once more, we push that away. And then bring that right leg, the right knee into the crook of your right elbow and taking the left hand to the right foot and just drawing that in, just giving that right hip a little bit of stretch. And then releasing that foot to the ground and just extending the arms and extending the legs. And while you're in this position, just with the arms long behind you, just walk your legs over to the left a little bit. So keeping the feet fairly close together, walk them over to the left, and then take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and let the top of your body move to the left a little so that we have a nice crescent shape. Breathing into the chest. And then coming back to center. We walk the legs over to the right a little bit. We take the right wrist with the left hand and just move the body, top of the body towards the right. Just bringing some more flexibility to the spine, moving the spine in many different ways in yoga. And then coming back to center as we extend the arms and extend the legs. Exhale the arms down, bring the feet to the floor one at a time and the knees into the chest one at a time. And gently rock them. Cross the ankles and widen the knees just a little. Bring the hands to the top, fingertips pointing down as we begin to just rotate around the bottom. Letting the arms go forward as you move around and then pulling the knees back in as you come back. And then coming to center, change the cross of the feet and let's go in the other direction. Just making that circle. Always try to keep the movement a little slow so that the mind doesn't wander away. And then coming to center, we bring the feet to the floor and extending the arms, extending the legs. And exhaling down. And we're just going to roll over and just come up to a seated position. In here, we'll just bring the arms overhead, interlace the fingers, extend the palms up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. Exhale the arms down. We'll bring the hands up on the thighs as we close our eyes. For a moment, I'm going to talk to you about chanting. What is chanting? Why is it beneficial? What does it do for us? Well, it does many things. It balances the left and right sides of the brain, oxygenates the brain, lowers blood pressure, reduces heart rate. It's believed that the meridians, or the energy channels within the mouth, are stimulated by the tongue. We talk in yoga about the physical body as being one layer, and then there are other layers or koshas, of which the chakras are part. We've talked about the chakras, and these meridians fall in that category as well. There is a doctor who claims that he has been able, through the use of mantra meditation, for his patients to shrink tumors. It brings better sleep. MRIs show that the gray matter in the brain can be improved through mantra meditation. This is the area associated with memory, empathy, sense of self. It also releases melatonin, calming. Produces endorphins, happy, happy, happy. But most importantly, brings us closer to the divine. So we inhale and begin Om 3 times, inhaling to begin. From here, we'll just lay back down on the mat for just a few minutes of meditation. So just bringing a pillow beneath your head and just relaxing into that place. Bringing your attention now to your breath. Noticing